friends, welcome to episode 176, yes, of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. My name is Kalisha, and you can find me anywhere online as Nadira Tani. I'm coming to you today from my home in Central Florida. Today is Sunday, June 30th, and it is so muggy outside, so if I get shinier and shinier, just know that I'm melting. It's okay. If you are new, welcome. I hope that you find something that you can connect with. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I know that I have been on ultimate ghost mode, but you know, it bees like that sometimes. I think that's all I have to say at the very beginning of this, so let's just jump in before I run out of podcast energy. I also have my dog Tootie out here with me in the yard. And okay, I see her. She's good for just walking off when she feels like it. That's what happens when she's an old ornery lady. She just does whatever she wants. Tootie, come here. Come say hi. Come here. Come here, Toot Toot. Come over here. Come here, girl. Oh, hello. It's been a while since you've been on the podcast. You have anything you want to report to your fans? No? You just want me to put you back down so you can go exploring in the dirt? Oh, if I'm holding you, I need to be scratching her head. Yes. Look at the face. Look at the face. Oh. Oh. Oh, little Toots Boots. Oh, little Toots Boots. Yes, a good scratchings. All right, you little dirt fairy. Thank you for coming and saying hello and showing people you're still kicking around. Okay. Stay in your yard, please. Tootie, stay in your yard. All right, finished objects. So since it has been quite a while since I filmed an episode, I do have a long list of finished objects, which I'm really excited about. I love it when I have things that I finished to show you guys, because it just makes me feel like, oh, we out here, we doing it, we making things and stuff and productive and whatever. So I have a basket, or not necessarily a basket, a bag. I have a bag of stuff next to me, and let me just dig out my finished objects. Okay, these are finished. This is finished. This is finished. All this stuff. Okay, so first I want to show you guys my my blue secret summer crop top. This is a pattern by Jessie Maed Martinson, and yeah, it was in progress last episode. I'm covered in Tootie fur now. It was in progress last episode, and now it's finished. This that I'm wearing is also the same pattern. It is my vanilla sock pattern right now. Like, before I started making these, whenever I had a single skein of fingering weight yarn, like 100 grams of fingering weight yarn, my go-to for it was just knit a pair of socks. And that's all well and good and great and everything, but since I have found my sweet spot with making these tanks, typically I can get a whole tank out of 100 grams of fingering weight yarn, and then I have something Florida appropriate to wear that, you know, people can see, you know, that's a bit more like, look at this yarn, than a pair of socks. So this is the Summer Secret crop. As you can see, I did run out of the blue yarn that I was using. Not entirely sure why. I didn't weigh it, but this is a skein of yarn. I think someone gave this to me like way back at the beginning when I first started podcasting. So this was a gift from a viewer. And I have lots of single skeins of yarn that I've just kind of hoarded, and this is one of them. So I finally just cracked into it. When I realized that I was running out of yarn, I decided to just do a little color work back and forth, stitching. I just changed colors every other stitch, and then repeated that for two rows, just so they gave that it kind of almost looks like a honeycomb situation, just to blend the light blue and the dark blue. And then this dark blue is just a basic sock yarn that I had in my stash, like a leftover. And then I did my straps, and she's finished. I realized when I put this one on that I like how the top of this one is better than the top of this one. So I think I'm gonna go back to not doing a ribbed top edge. I'm still trying to figure out exactly my preferred top decreases, so that I can just be like, wham bam, thank you ma'am, cast it on, go on and get on. Judy, get out the bushes. Get out the bush. Thank you. But yeah, so as I always say, whenever I make this, I do a modification on the straps. I crochet my straps. It's just 4 single crochets back and forth for like 80 something rows, and then I do a row of slip stitch up and down on both edges of the single crochet so that it doesn't stretch. That's it. So that's my first work in progress. You will see that pattern come up again because they're just so Florida appropriate, she says as she is melting. Oh my goodness. Okay, my next Florida appropriate top is this yellow one, and I mentioned wanting to make this top last episode. I had made a tan, it's not tan, it was more like cream colored top like this in the last episode, and I bought the same kind of yarn in this yellow color, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna make another one. So I did, and I decided to put this little edge. This is a bead stitch, which I'll tell you guys a little bit more about later. But yeah, so I made this same pattern as the other one. This isn't a pattern that exists. I kind of just made it up as I went along. But essentially all I did was I started here at the top of the shoulders, crocheted straight, and then increased on both sides until I got to like the depth on the chest that I wanted to connect. Then I did a foundation double crochet to connect the two, and then continued increasing on the edges until it measured half my bust. Then I made the same thing for the back, joined them, and then worked straight down. This piece is worked in turned rounds so that the parts in the top that were worked flat match the bottom that was worked in rounds. I know that probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's a freestyle top. My next let's finish with the garments, and then we'll do accessories, and then we'll do bags. This is another crochet top. It's a raglan short sleeve sweater. This is my project that went along with, ow, pulled my hair. This is my project that went along with my Buddy Reed with Akira of Knitting Annihilator, the Knitting Annihilator podcast. So Akira and I read the book Go the Distance, which is a Disney twisted tale, and it is the twisted tale of Hercules, and the story is what if Meg had to become a Greek god. So the front of that book, I'll put it here, this is the front of the book, and what we did was we read the book together and both started a project like kind of inspired by the colors of the book, and this yarn is perfect, right? So it's just your basic double crochet raglan situation. One of the things that I noticed about this when I tried it on, like when I finished it, is something I probably should have thought about but didn't. So when you're crocheting, crochet stitches lean. So if you're working in the round in one direction, all of your work is going to start skewing, kind of like spinning around an axis. What was I saying? Crochet stitches lean, and if you're working in rounds in the same direction, all of your work will start skewing. Because of that, the raglan increases here, if I look closely, I can see that they are not straight. They are kind of curving. And when I put it on, it doesn't change the way that the piece fits, but it's just a little bit off. So I think what I'll do, because I do want to make another one of these, I think what I will do is work it in turned rounds. Another thing, if you're not a crocheter and you don't know this, you can see how that join is shifting, and that's because of the lean, and that's because of the spiral that you're working in. And I don't really care, it is what it is. So I'm a fan of a short sleeve sweater situation. This yarn is Karen Cakes, it's Karen Skinny Cakes, I think. Don't remember the name of the color. It's probably something like blueberry something or another, but I really like it. We'll definitely do this again. Okay, I think that's all of the garments. Yes, so we will go into accessories. So now, ow, you stabbed me. So now we'll talk a little bit about this. So this bead stitch. I was introduced to this stitch through a test crochet that I did for Corinne Purifoy on Instagram. She is also known as I Knit You Not, and she designed a kerchief called the Ashtan kerchief, and I was one of her testers. And the special stitch in the kerchief is the bead stitch, which is so much fun to work. So this is what the kerchief looks like. And this one is her small size, and then I did this one in the large, in the large size. I had a lot of fun working on this pattern. Obviously it doesn't take a whole lot of yarn. So if you have leftovers, minis, you know, things like that, you can bust this out real quick. Let's see. The pattern is out. She released it, I think, 3 days ago. Yeah, I think she released it about 3 or 4 days ago, and I still need to post my finished object pictures on Instagram and on Ravelry. Y'all, the ghost mode is real. But here it is. It's finished. I wore both of these during my 10th anniversary trip, which I'll tell you all about a little bit later. But both of these were worn. I went to a yarn shop and the ladies in there were like, oh my gosh, we just love your kerchief. And I was like, it's a test. The designer's gonna release it soon. But yeah, definitely recommend the pattern. It is very easy to make it even bigger. So if you wanted like a wider kerchief, or if you even wanted to extend this into like, I don't know, a festival top, you could definitely do something like that, which would be really funky. But yeah, all of the yarn that I used was from my stash, leftover minis from past projects, and loved it. So that's those. I also finished my Lisa Frank inspired kerchief, which I have since lost. I don't know what I did with it, but here's a picture. Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet is hosting a Lisa Frank Mal, where you make something that's inspired by Lisa Frank, who is the queen of all things neon. And my kerchief was inspired by those fuzzy posters where it's like black velvet and then you color in between it. So that was the inspiration for my kerchief. The yarn that I used for it, I thrifted it years ago, and it is an acrylic lace weight yarn that is marketed for punch needling, which I thought was really cool. I have started using it for actual punch needling, which I guess I could have brought that project with me, but I didn't. But yeah, I just held 2 strands together and crocheted with it. It was great. Let's see. Those are my kerchiefs. Okay, so I've got a tote bag, some tie-dye, and then 2 pieces that I don't have the pictures of. So let's do, oh, I have 2 tote bags. I have stuff down here that I put as finished objects that I didn't even write down. It's too much. It's too much. Okay, so first tote bag. I think I did mention this in the last episode that I was going to do this. So I found this little tote bag at the Dollar Tree, and I just love the little wiggly smiley faces. And I thought, oh, it would be fun to crochet like a handle for it to make it a little bit, you know, more special. So I cut the regular handles off and used one of those rotary hole punch type deals to punch holes across the top, and then crochet directly into it. The only thing that I wish I would have considered when I was doing this originally was the length of the straps. I was just kind of going until the spirit felt right, and it was not right. It wasn't. I don't, I mean, I can use it, but what I have learned is that the ideal strap length is, which part of my arm was it? This part of your arm has to be either equal to or longer than this part of my arm. That way, when I'm wearing it, I can just take it off easily. See, it's too short to like easily come off of my shoulder like this. So I'm probably gonna end up giving this away to somebody, probably one of the kids that I know. But I also boxed the bottom so that instead of it being just a flat bag, it now has some dimension. We love it. And that was a fun project. I feel like I'll make another one with properly sized straps, but that's a future Kalisha consideration. My other Dollar Tree tote bag is phenomenal. I love this bag. I'm so proud of the way it came out. Absolute 10 out of 10. Definitely recommend doing this. So here it is. I was in the Dollar Tree looking for, I don't even remember what I was looking for, but I walked down the aisle that had all the little tote bags and socks and stuff, and they had these clear plastic tote bags. And I was like, oh, that would be really cool to, you know, basically use as a outer bag and then crochet a bag to go inside of it. That way your crochet stays nice and like untouched, and, you know, it'd be really cute. And then I thought, if I get 2 of them, I can sandwich the crochet between them, and then the crochet will stay pristine. So that's what I did. The way that I did this was I measured the bag, and then I did my granny squares to fit the side, to fit the bag. So as if I was going to make a granny square bag this size. Then I put that inside the first bag, took the second bag, put that inside there, and then I sewed them together. Like, this is the edge of the plastic bag. I sewed them together, sandwiching that that crochet in between them. Then I went and added an additional border right on top so that it's a little bit higher than the plastic. And yeah, these little tassels I put on the sides to just pull in those side bits, so that like when it lays flat, it's like this, like that. Yeah, I love that the handles are attached to the plastic and not to the crochet, so I don't have to worry about the crochet getting distorted. And also because the crochet and the bags are sewn together all the way around, the weight is distributed evenly, so I think that this bag is going to last really well. The only thing that I don't really like about the bag, but I don't not like it enough to make a change. Y'all, I am melting. Okay. The only thing that I don't like about the bag, but I don't not like it enough to make a change, is because the plastic bags are the same size, there is like extra material on the inside of the bag, and it kind of just balls up at the bottom, but I don't really care. It's not perfect, but whatever. But I love this bag so much. And now that I have made this one and I see how much I like it, I'm definitely gonna make another one. The Dollar Tree had green, blue, and black, and I got a green bag and a black bag. So I think I'm gonna do it with the black on the outside and make another one. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do granny squares. I might do granny stripes. Who knows? But really love how that came out. Okay. And the last two, finished objects that I have with me are these. They are tie-dye. This one is so terrible. I hate this one so much. They're tie-dye projects from classes that I took in my local library. So the first one that I did was this. It was a tie-dye tote bag. And I tied it too tight and didn't get the dye all the way inside the folds. So it came out a little bit lackluster. I think what I'm going to do is over dye it. I saw a video online about dyeing fabric with acrylic paint. So I've got lots of acrylic paint, so I'm gonna try that eventually. It's not high on the list of things to do, but there it is. And then the next week, I went to a tie-dye bandana class, and this is how this one came out. Much better, if I do say so myself. I was going with a sunflower theme for this one, And what I want to do to really like drive it home is go back over it with maybe like a brown Sharpie and kind of draw a sunflower, you know, shape, the petals and stuff like that on it, because I think that would be kind of cool. But I had a lot of fun with this one. And now, as what happens every time I take a class at the library, I want to tie-dye all the things. So those are all of my finished objects that I have here with me. The last two finished objects that I just have pictures of are Mr. Grinch's July hat. And for this hat, I went with a beach theme. So the brim is the sand, then you have like the blue for the water and the sky, and then the yellow for the sun. So here is Mr. Grinch's July hat. I don't know if I showed you his June hat, but I did red, black, and green for Juneteenth. And yeah, so that's Mr. Grinch. He's in my office. And then the last finished object that I have is this needle felted apple. I got this kit from the Dollar Tree, and I think it was last week. My friend Tiffany and I got together and made the needle punch kit. So she did a strawberry and I did the apple, and I definitely stabbed myself like 3 times. I'm not 100% sure if needle felting is something that Kalisha wants to add to her list of things that she does, but I can say for sure it's definitely one of those things, like if you're feeling frustrated about something or you're mad about something, needle felt, because you just stab, turn it, stab. It was nice like that. Just watch your fingers. But those are all of my finished objects, and let's jump on into works in progress. Okay. I mentioned that I went on an anniversary trip, and Lamar and I had our 10th wedding anniversary on June 15th, which is wild. And he planned our whole anniversary weekend. And he asked me if I wanted to know what we were doing or if I wanted to be surprised. So I opted to be surprised. And it was great. So one of the things that he had planned was, or a couple of the things were stopping at yarn shops, which he's such a great yarn husband. So my first work in progress is using one of the yarns that I got at the first yarn shop. This is the yarn. It's Lang Happy Dots. So this work in progress is going to be a blend of work in progress / stash positions, because, you know. So this is the yarn, and I cast on a sock, and I think, yes, I am to the heel. So my regular vanilla sock pattern is 64 stitches on 2.25 millimeter needles. I do 20 rows or 20 rounds of 2x2 rib, and then however much I want for the leg. If I'm going for a longer sock, I'll do 60 to 80 rows. So this one has 60 rows for the sock, like for the leg. Then I will do some loud bugs. Then I will do a short row wrap and turn heel, work down to 12 stitches or 10 stitches, 10 or 12 stitches, I don't remember. And then I work the foot for 72 rows, and then I have a like rounded toe recipe that I have kind of tweaked to fit my foot. and then I work that down to, I think that works down to 12, and the heel works down to 10. And that is, and then I Kitchener the toe. That's my vanilla sock pattern. Love it. So I have this as my first work in progress, and I have been kind of knitting on that here and there. I had a lot of other projects, as you saw, that I was working on in between that time. My other anniversary work in progress is another summer secret crop. So I told y'all that pattern was going to come back up. This is it. I am about 2 inches away from starting the front decreases, and this yarn, I don't have the label for, do I? I don't think so. This yarn is, well, I got this at the second yarn shop that we went to, and it is, yeah, I can't remember what it's called. I'll put it on the screen. But the colors in it are our wedding colors. Our wedding colors were blue, yellow, and green, and I was really excited to find this yarn at that shop. Yeah, so I'm making one of these, and I think I have kind of fallen into a anniversary tradition. Last year on our anniversary, or for our anniversary, I went to one of our local yarn shops, and I bought this green yarn, and I used it to make my first summer secret crop, right? And it was my anniversary project. And this year on the anniversary, I wore that top, and I bought this yarn, and I cast on another one. So I think that my anniversary project is going to be a summer secret crop in a yarn that I buy for my anniversary. I'm just gonna have a whole bunch of like greenish tanks. All of these stitch markers are on here because I wanted to remember to talk about some things. So I took this with me when Lamar and I went to watch Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and I knit all the way through that movie. So I started here at the movie and knit all the way up to this marker during the movie, and then each day that I was working on it afterwards, I would put in a marker just to see how much I was getting in each day. So I'm just round and round she goes. And like I said, this is definitely my summer sock pattern. I feel like I always have one of these on the needles just because it's really easy to just throw it in a bag, have it in my like my purse or my backpack or whatever, pick it up when I'm watching TV or watching YouTube. If I'm sitting in a meeting, I'm knitting on it, and it's just really handy to have with me. I currently have it living in, oh, it's dirty, in a yarn bowl that Lamar gave me for, I think, our 9th anniversary, 8th or 9th, whichever is the copper anniversary is the one that he gave this to me. So I think it's nice to have like my anniversary project and the anniversary gift. It's just, love it. The next work in progress that I have is I have started adding squares back to my Crochet Memories blanket. I did not bring it out here because Florida summer, but here is a picture of my new squares. They are all of the yarn that I got over my anniversary trip. And I wrote down the Adriata top by Joji Locatelli in my works in progress, but that top is missing in action. I have no idea where I put it, but I didn't frog it, so technically it's still in progress wherever it is. Okay, maker plans. The only maker plan that I have that is like for sure is I'm making a new spindle. One of the things I think I mentioned in the last episode, one of the things that I have gotten into with my foray into resin crafting is figuring out ways to make drop spindles. I don't know why I love making drop spindles. It's just so satisfying to me. But anywho, I'm making a new drop spindle, and this one is going to be sunflower themed. I bought these stickers that are going to go inside the whirl. So right now, or rather last night, I mixed the resin and I poured it. It's a gold glittery color, so I'm hoping that I will be able to use the stickers on it and that the color won't be too concentrated to go on there. So I'm excited to see how that will come out. And the other, I wrote down 2 other maker plans, but they don't have like start dates or anything with them. I want to make an amigurumi horse for one of my coworkers. She loves horses, and I just want to make her something. She's such a sweetheart. So I want to make her a little horse. That's gonna happen. Hopefully soon, because like I want to give it to her. And then the other thing that I want to make is the Love Note by Tin Can Knits. I'll put a picture here. I want to make that just because it's a pretty, like it's a really pretty top, and most of the tops that I have been making recently have just been your basic, like, you know, tank top or basic crochet top, just something like very generic. And I want to do something that has a little bit of pizzazz. The Adriata top was gonna be that with a little bit of pizzazz and stuff, but like that lace is involved. So even if it wasn't lost, it still wouldn't be like super done or like really going. But I want to do the Love Note, and I think I'm going to skip to Stash Positions so that I can show you this. I think that this is going to be the yarn that I make the Love Note out of. So this yarn, it is Superwash Wool Luxe by Knit and Crochet at Joann. This is one of their, I think, in-house brands. And it is 100% superwash merino, which is, you don't see this at big box stores like ever. So I was in there the other day and I saw it fresh on the shelves and had to jump on it. It is listed, or it's coded as a number 2 fine. I think it's more of a worsted weight. It is a single, so we'll see how that goes. I know that people don't typically use singles for garments, but I think we're gonna go with it. And if it looks terrible, these bugs, why y'all so loud? Screaming. Anywho, if it looks terrible in the Love Note, then I will just do a basic raglan out of it, because this color is really pretty. It's called Pothos Vine. So, you know, the plant mama in me was like, yes. There was also this beautiful brown color and a gold and an orange and a red that was really beautiful. Like, they're very saturated colors, which I like. But yeah, yes, I got 3 skeins of this. Hopefully that'll be enough to make whatever it is I'm gonna make. But yeah, so that Love Note was the last thing in maker plans. So since we are already talking about the stash positions, I will show you the other stash positions that I got. So I already showed you the 2 yarns that I'm making things out of. This is, it looks a mess, but this is one of the smaller skeins that I got at the first yarn shop. And I will link their names in the down bar because I can't remember them right now. But I got this. It'll probably end up being like a pair of shorty socks or something like that. Yes, this and the other sock were the purchases from the first shop. And then this and the blue yarn from that I used in my Crochet Memories blanket were the yarn purchases from the second shop. And I also got some fiber, which I'll show you when we talk about Kalisha and the Babe. Those were the purchases from the second shop. And then after we got home and everything, a couple days after that, I decided to go back over to Knitcessities, which is the shop that I went to last year and got my anniversary yarn. So I wanted to go there again to grab something for this year. And this is the yarn that I got at Knitcessities this year. I love it. It's called Silent Night. So I might save this and do something at Christmas. But I just love that it was like blue and sparkly. So this is West Yorkshire Spinners Signature Sparkle 4-ply in the Silent Night colorway. It is 75% wool, 23% nylon, 2% polyester. And then it says the 75% wool contains 35% blue face luster with sparkle. But those are all of the yarns that I got for the anniversary. And then I also got this little duck. Is he so cute? Yeah, so those are my stash positions. All the works in progress. And now we can talk about the return of Kalisha and the Babe. So if you are a spinner, you might know that this past Saturday, so June 29th, was the first day of Tour de Fleece. And Tour de Fleece is a yearly spinning event that runs at the same time as the Tour de France. And people have teams. There's like, people make goals for how many kilometers they're gonna spin of yarn or whatever. And it's kind of like it's kind of a big deal in the spinning sphere. I participate in, like, as a way of like getting back into spinning, because spinning is one of those things that I kind of flow in and out of. And whenever Tour de Fleece comes around, I'm always like, all right, we're going to set a goal and we're gonna spin it. So this year I want to do 3 spins. Okay, I want to do, and the spins that I want to do are like modality spins. So I will do a spin on my drop spindle, a spin on my e-spinner, and a spin on my wheel. This is an Electric Eel Nano that I was so graciously given by a viewer. I am still trying to like figure out how to spin with this properly and what this particular wheel likes. The fiber that's on it right now, I think, is some mystery wool. And I think it might be a bit too grabby for it because I can't get the tension and the uptake right. We're going through it right now. But I then took that same wool I had carded and put into Rolags. I think the amount that I have on here is, I think maybe 1.5 to 2 Rolags of fiber. And then when I got frustrated with that, I just broke it off of there and decided to spin it on my drop spindle. So this is the first resin drop spindle that I made. As you can see, it's got 2 layers because I made 2, like so that I had like one, if I messed up, that I could do another one. But when I put one and spun with just the one, I didn't like the weight, so I just stuck both of them on there, and we're going like that. So I am spinning with it like this, and I am liking it. It's not exactly balanced, which means it gets wobbly when I spin it, but the fact that I made it myself is the thing that is just like, I don't really care. I made this. And she's so cute. I love the color. I love the stars and the sparkle and the glitter. It just makes me happy to use. So I will be finishing this green spin on the drop spindle. I'm going to start a new spin on my e-spinner once I figure out like what kind of fiber I want to put on there. And I'm thinking probably something that's a little bit more slippery so that it doesn't have to work so hard to pull the fiber in. I think maybe. We're not 100% sure. If you have tips on spinning on an e-spinner, please leave them in the comments because your girl is struggling. And then my wheel spin is going to be my anniversary fiber. So I will show you what I got. All of this fiber is Corriedale. This is all Corriedale fiber that I got from the second yarn shop. I absolutely love it when I go to yarn shops and they have fiber. Like, it makes me very happy. Especially if it's like a buffet of fiber and you can like get what you want. So I will be blending this on my blending board. These are my these are going to be my base colors, so I think I want to blend these in, like blend them up pretty thoroughly. And then these are the accent colors. I realize it's going very fire. I was thinking more fall vibes, but I think I went a little bit too bright, but whatever. So I have, 35 grams of the base colors and then 10 grams of each of the accent colors. And we're just gonna work on blending those. I'll probably get these blended maybe, well, obviously I have to do it this week so that I can be on top of my spinning game, so that I can start spinning this, in end of sentence. But yes, I'm excited about those. I don't know what project I want to make out of these yarns once I finish them. But that's typically how my spinning goes. I have never spun for something. Actually, that's not true. I have spun for something once. But since then, I have never spun with a project in mind. I just spin, and not even like with a aim for a specific type of yarn or a specific weight of yarn. I kind of spin and feel it out to see like what thickness does this fiber want to be, and that's what it's going to be. And then when I finish it, here we are. But hopefully I can come out with a nice amount of yarn so that I can make something. My base, my default spin on my wheel tends to be about a like DK to worsted weight 2-ply. I've done a 3-ply before, but meh, it's a lot of steps, and I don't really want to do a lot of steps. So we're gonna do 2-plies all around. Yeah. The wheel that I have is a Babe. That's why this section is called Cliche and the Babe. Babe spinning wheels are made with PVC pipes and composite wheelchair wheels. So they are very low cost, very low stakes spinning setup. I got mine secondhand, which always kind of blows my mind that I managed to get a secondhand spinning wheel in Florida. But I think I got it on Craigslist too. Raise your hand if you remember Craigslist. But yeah, I'm still on the hunt for like a wooden spinning wheel. Just because I love my Babe. I love that it made wheel spinning accessible for me, because I don't have hundreds of dollars to splash out on a wheel, you know, capital W wheel. But there are things about the Babe that I would like to change in my next spinning wheel. I would love to have a next spinning wheel, but yeah, one thing about the Babe, since it is made of PVC pipe and that composite wheel, it's very lightweight. So when I'm spinning on it, it's just kind of dancing around like this, and I kind of don't want that. But I do like that it's lightweight, so I can pick it up, throw it in the car, we can go places, I can do things, you know. My wheel is a single treadle. That means it has only like one footman. I would like it to be a double treadle. There is a conversion kit that I can get to change out the treadle, but I think that the previous owner construction adhesived that thing together, so I kind of feel like I might not be able to change it up, and I don't want to buy the conversion kit and then not be able to change it out, you know what I mean? So also I have done, well, my dad and I did a whole bunch of like DIY fixing on it, because part of it broke and we had to figure out how to fix it. It was a nice like daddy-daughter project, and also just a delight bringing a spinning wheel into Home Depot. If you have the opportunity to do it, I definitely recommend you take a spinning wheel into a home improvement store. Mines will be blown everywhere. It's so much fun. Everyone's like, what is that? It's a spinning wheel. What? Like Rumpelstiltskin. Oh, cool. So that's fun. But that's the plan with spinning for Tour de Fleece. Since I poured the resin for my sunflower spindle last night, it should be ready by like Tuesday. So my plan is to get that all set up and done, and maybe try my first spin on it on Thursday, because Thursday we're off work for the 4th of July, and I can like play around with it. Yeah, I'm excited to do that. I have some ideas on how to put the two sides together, because again, the mold that I'm using, or the mold that I use to make these round pieces, it's actually supposed to be for coasters. So it's not meant to be used like this, but when do I ever use things in the way that they're meant to be used, right? So because I had two separate ones, even though I marked center, the hole was not in the same place on here. They're just ever so slightly off. But for my sunflower one, what I think I'm gonna do is I did not fill the molds up all the way, so there's still space in them. So what I think I want to do is take one of them out of their mold, put a layer of UV resin in, and then put the second one on top of the first one in the mold so that they line up. And then I will let that cure, and then if the stickers look good with the color, I'll put the stickers on, and then do another layer of UV resin on top of the whole thing, cure that, and then drill the hole. Yeah. Another thing that I think I'm gonna do, I think I'm going to use a thicker dowel. Yeah, I think I want to do a thicker dowel, and I think that's it. I think those are like the biggest changes that I'm going to make in the construction of the spindle, but I think that will work really well. This one works fine. I love the color. I can't stop looking at it. It's so cute. All right, so that's everything, friends. Oh no, that's not everything. I didn't tell you guys life and whatnot. My gosh, I talk too much. Let's see. I wrote 10th anniversary vlog coming. I did vlog during our anniversary trip. I have all of the footage. I just need to edit it, which is a lot. But it's gonna be fun to go back over it and look and like relive those memories and stuff. That is one of my favorite things about vlogging, is that I can go back and basically relive these memories from a first person perspective, you know what I mean? And I just love that. So that'll be coming at some point. And the last thing that I put in here is just reading. So I have gotten back into reading, and that is all thanks to Akira of the Knitting Annihilator podcast, who I mentioned earlier. She has gotten into reading and has like taken it by storm, and it has just kind of like relit that enjoyment of reading in me. And buddy reading with her has been delightful. We are set to start another Twisted Tale tomorrow on July 1st. We're going to be reading the Twisted Tale for Beauty and the Beast. It's called As Old as Time. And the what if is, what if Belle's mother cursed the beast? So that's what we are diving into. This is what the book looks like. So I will be stash diving to find yarn to make a project to go along with it, of course. And yeah, so one of the things that y'all are just disrespectful. Disrespectful. Okay, one of the things that I have really been enjoying since getting back into reading is participating in the summer reading program at my library. So they are doing like this summer camp kind of thing where they have like the kids one and they have one for adults, which yay. And you get badges for the things that you complete. And I'm a little bit competitive, so I'm like, I need to have all the badges. I need to get every single badge. So it has brought to my attention how many resources are actually at my library. like not even just resources that are in-house. So I have been trying to be really good about going to the library and taking the classes, like the tie-dye classes and the scrapbooking classes and computer classes, and any class that I can go to, like that resin class that I did, any class that I can go to, like that works with my schedule. I'm trying to be there. I'm trying to learn a new skill. I'm trying to take a little crafty class, you know, whatever like that. And in addition to those things, the library, my library has, or having a library card gives me access to like all of these online things that I did not even know existed. Like they have a online learning platform through Indeed where you can learn different skills that are like resume skills, like things you could put on your resume. There are multiple language learning sites that you can get access to. Like I was scrolling through one of the things today, and it was like, what language do you want to learn? And there was a huge list of languages. So I started doing the classes for American Sign Language, because I would love to get back into that. Fun fact, when I was in 3rd and 4th grade, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, whatever, early elementary school, I was in a private church school, and it was like so tiny, like the whole school was in the church's basement. And the teacher of the school's daughter was deaf, so everybody had to learn sign language. And I remember being in school, and like my friend would be sitting across the room, and we're just signing back and forth across the room. Like I remember that, and it's such a good skill, a good language to know. And I have lost pretty much all of it at this point in my life, and I would love to get back into it. So I'm so glad that I have access to this. And in addition to that, it's so much. It's so many languages, and I'm like, I just want to learn all of them. So I'm probably going to dip back into Japanese, which I was trying to teach myself in 7th grade. I'm probably going to take some Arabic, because one of my coworkers randomly teaches me Arabic phrases, and I want to actually learn. Like I said, the American Sign Language, it's just, my mind is blown. I did not know these things were available to me. So that's, I think, the best takeaway that I have from participating in this summer reading camp with my library, is that all of the little badges are like, try this, try that. And like they'll say, try to learn a new language. And then they show you all of the language things that you have access to. They'll say, join a book club. Here are the different book clubs offered through the library. Here are ones that are offered online. They had learn a new recipe, and then here's all these different places that you can learn recipes from, and just all kinds of stuff. There was one badge for like try a new TV show, and there's an app that allows you access to like all these TV shows through the library. And I'm like, all this time, all of this stuff has been here, and I never know. I never knew. So it's been really cool to like kind of explore through there and find these different things to keep myself active and learning. And in addition to the books that I'm reading with Akira, I have read a couple other books myself. I tend to do more audiobooks because I have, drives to work, while at work, all this stuff. Like in Florida, things are far. So like you're driving at least 20-30 minutes to get pretty much anywhere. So I've been doing a lot of audiobook listening, and I listened to the Hunger Games prequel, what is it called? Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes? Yeah, I listened to it, I finished it, and I wanted to punch the main character in the throat so much. Just, hated him. Anyway, which is all justifiable as we see. I just finished the book Challenger Deep by Neil Shusterman, and that book, I had so many feels. It is basically the story of a 15-year-old boy. His name is Caden, I think. Caden. It's his story of his descent into schizophrenia. And the story was inspired by the author's son's experience. So I started reading it, and it definitely started making me like feel, I guess the feeling I was having was like triggering on a mental health tip. So part of me was like, nah girl, we need to stop reading this book because it's gonna send you into a downswing. We don't need to do this. But then part of me was like, oh man, but it's a story inspired by a person who exists. I should be respectful and read the book. And then I was just like, really, Kalisha? Then I was like, I don't want to hurt the book's feelings. Really, Kalisha? So I took a break from it and then came back and finished listening to it. And I'm glad that I came back because it was one of those stories where you see him kind of spiraling down to the deepest point and then coming back up, like making his way back up. And one of the quotes at the end of, like towards the end of the book, when he's kind of coming up and finding his balance, one of the characters says to him, just because it's a long voyage doesn't mean you're going to be on it forever. And when I tell you, I was listening to the book at work. I had to stop what I was doing and write that down and put it on a sticky note and put it in front of my face, because it spoke to me and it hit me in the chest, in the middle of my chest. And that is such an important statement to just remember. Like, just because it's a long voyage, just because it's a long process, doesn't mean you're going to be on it forever. Doesn't mean that it's going to be like this forever. And I think it was good for me to hear, because recently I have been having like a time with my mental health. Just trying to figure out therapists and what therapy means to me, like how it can be useful to me, finding someone to talk to, just the whole process of helping yourself. Like, finding help is just like, it's some serious heavy lifting. And I've definitely, over the last like month and a half, had some really, really heavy downswings. I have come back up. We're trying some new things here. And I'm really hoping that I am on a good, or that I'm headed in the right direction, you know what I mean? And knowing that I've been doing these new things and putting in this work and doing this heavy lifting, and then having that character in the book say that even though it's a long journey, doesn't mean you're going to be on it forever, was just kind of like a reassurance to me. of just because you're dealing with this now doesn't mean that it's going to be hard like this forever. And I am holding on to that so hard. It is definitely one of my floaties right now in this ocean of life. I got a message from a viewer like a couple weeks ago, and I appreciate it. You know who you are. She said that it was good to see me in the last episode, but my eyes look tired, or my eyes look sad. I can't remember exactly which she said, but I mean, it's a true statement. Sometimes I look back on my eyes in videos, and I can always tell when I'm not feeling 100%, but I'm showing up anyway. And I think it's important to do that, but that's definitely why I've been ghost mode, is I haven't been 100%, and it has been hard to show up at all. And the showing up that I have been doing has been like the required showing up, like work. And I'm glad that, you know, today I feel like I can show up for you guys, and I want to keep doing that. You know, I hope that I don't look as sad and tired as I did in the last episode. And if ever you're watching me on here and you see that in my eyes, just send me good vibes. Send up a prayer. Send me positivity, because your girl needs it. I really appreciate anybody who watches my videos and comments and sends me messages on here or on Instagram, or, you know, emails or whatever. You guys really give me something outside of myself to interact with and to look forward to, and I appreciate that more than you could even imagine. So on that note, I am going to end today's episode. Thank you all so much for being here and for being a part of my universe. Leave something positive in the comments down below. Leave something encouraging and uplifting in the comments below, for me to read, as well as for anyone else to read. And if you are in the throes of whatever, just remember that statement. Just because it's a long voyage doesn't mean you're going to be on it forever. Thanks for being here. Bye, friends.